Hello and welcome, it's Deborah from the Attic, and I've got something a bit different for you today. It's a collaboration with Tracie Fox. If you don't already know Tracie, she's the creative power behind the YouTube channel Love Junk Journals, and that's the focus of her channel. She also has a group on Facebook, and she's been inspiring crafters for a number of years. I was lucky enough to find her quite early on in the life of her channel and subscribed because I really liked her warm and relaxed style. And I'm hoping that this video will be like a doorway to a rabbit hole, because I'm going to provide you with loads of links that will crank up your mojo. So check in the read more box below the video and watch out for links in the top right of your screen. So for this collaboration, Tracie and I have chosen kits from each other's Etsy shops to work with. I'll provide all the links below the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, take a look at the playlist and the hundreds of videos that I've got on my channel for further inspiration. Each Friday night you'll find craft tutorial videos, and if you'd like a wee peek into my life here in France, watch on Tuesday evenings. I'm going to make a really beautiful little ephemera book. This is available in Tracie's Etsy shop as a downloadable. And I've already made this version with the green covers, which is called Busy Butterflies. And this is what it looks like on the inside. I've added some extra little bits of ephemera, and these tags in two sizes will fit into these rather clever little places here. I'm going to flip you through this book so you see what the finished version looks like. And to help you understand how the book is constructed, I think this is a useful way to look at the book. So you can see that the covers are on the outside, and then on the inside, 2 pages glued together. It's not quite a concertina book, it's different, but I think this is the key bit that will help you understand how this book is constructed. Tracie has got a very comprehensive tutorial showing exactly how to make these. I'll provide a link up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the elements of this version of the kit. This one is called Grungy Ledger, and I really love these bluey grey shades. I'm going to cut out these elements, and then my plan is that I'm going to just chat you through some of what I'm doing, some of the reasons for the collaboration, how it's come about, how life in France has progressed for those of you that have been with me on what has sometimes been quite a difficult journey, and I've got some better news, I hope, to share. My pieces are all cut out now, and I printed this onto 100 GSM paper, which is just a step up really from eco photocopier paper, because that's all I've got at the moment, but I found it still works really well. On these 3 pieces I cut out the little windows that you need to cut out using a craft knife, and the way that the whole thing fits together is you'll notice when you've got the pieces cut in front of you, on the left side there is no tab, on the right hand side there are tabs, and then when you cut out the journal covers you will match up the non-tab end on this end that has a tab, and on this journal cover page that has a tab, that will go with the edge of the page that doesn't have a tab. It's an easy way to remember that you've got your pages in the right sort of an order. And these are the extra elements. So these are the panels that I will stick inside the book once everything is glued and the glue has dried. And there are loads of ephemera pieces. There are lots of these little tags. I do love a tag, as you all know if you've seen any of my other videos. And there are small ones and there are large ones. And then there are also these extra pieces as well. And I'm going to try and find a home for these in my little book as well. I think the reason this booklet makes up as well as it does is because there isn't so much ink in the design that it causes the paper to buckle, and once it's all glued together it's quite robust. So if you've got thicker paper you might want to use that, but I'm doing it this way and I can show you that it's not essential. This collaboration has come about for a number of reasons. Firstly, because I actually have time. So since leaving the UK last December and moving to the south of France, there's been a huge amount to do. Not just organising the move, but we need to have the whole house rewired, for example. There have been plumbing issues. I've had to apply for my French residency. I've had to set myself up as self-employed, get into the healthcare system and organise my COVID vaccinations. So some of you might also remember that a storm in January knocked out our internet, also our television and satellite. And so for about 2.5 months, the time it took us to get things back up and running again, I couldn't FaceTime friends and I couldn't upload videos, and so it felt like quite an isolated position to find myself in. My partner is still in the UK because of his work, and the COVID border restrictions have prevented him from visiting. So we've been apart for 4 months now, but we're hoping that that will soon be remedied. The other impact that the border closures and COVID restriction on movement has had is that I haven't been able to bring my car over from the UK, but I've managed to make do with an electric bike that I have here, and I've managed to get everything that I need in terms of shopping and stuff like that locally. So not all doom and gloom. The second reason for the collaboration is to reach out and expand my crafty network. I love a network. It's one of the reasons why I really enjoy engaging with your comments when you leave them below videos. Third reason is that having followed Tracie's crafty journey for so long and knowing how supportive she is of other creatives, I thought she'd be a really great person for my first proper collaboration. I'll make sure I've lined that up properly before I commit to the fold. Fourth reason for doing something a little bit different is because my YouTube channel and my Etsy shop are now how I make my living. I am registered in France as a graphic artist, which is very exciting. And I wanted to challenge myself a bit, step outside my comfort zone. I wanted to work with somebody else's designs because I find it's a great way to challenge your own mojo and get things stirred up a bit to do something different. If you find you're at a bit of a loss with your creativity, don't try and make yourself do the same things. Find something that takes you beyond what you normally do. What I do is mess around with colours. I find that colour really inspires me rather than shapes. So when I feel lost creatively, I get my watercolours out and I just let the colours play on some paper and see how much I can move them around by adding water or seeing what effect dropping a little salt into the damp colour will create. I find if I can let my mind go blank and step away from the pressure of actually making something, it's very liberating and it's relaxing. Generally, I wake up in the morning bursting with ideas, and I find if I go for a few days without that feeling, it's like a little warning sign, and it means that I need to go away and do something a little bit different. Years ago, I used to doodle. That was my little trick for getting my mojo back, because my job required that I travelled quite a lot, and I am the most impatient person on a plane. I just want to be there. So I always took a notebook with me and a pen, and I might have felt as if I was just doodling, but all the time I was improving muscle memory, making repeating patterns, and I was connecting with ink and paper in a meaningful way. So the time passed much more quickly and I arrived a lot calmer. I've got my little book all folded, but before I glue it, I want to just unfold it so you can see how it comes together. So it's quite a long piece, but that's fine. We know what we're doing with it. The cover pages, it's easier if I show you like this. The cover pages will be glued together, and then as the book folds, you can see where the panels have been glued in position. They show through the slots that have been cut out. So that's what you're doing. You're making sure that the panels that have got the glued piece on them are visible through your cut rectangles. And it all pulls together like that. and then the cover is on the final page. So I am now going to glue this together. Again, all the detailed instructions are on Tracie's video, which I linked earlier, but I hope you can see how you'll do this. I'll glue this just to show you very quickly, so I'll turn it over, and to glue the panel with the cuts on it onto the panel with the panel on it, the writing on it, you don't glue across the cuts, you glue all the way around the outside, like that. Fold the panel piece over. Then if I turn the book back over, that's how it will look. So I'm going to finish doing more of these. I'm going to start with this one. I think that's so sweet, that little book. Now, this piece will form the covering of the spine. So I'm going to fold it. I'm covered in glue now. Everything's sticking to me. I'm going to fold it in thirds. And before I really commit to those folds, I want to make sure I've got it about right. I'm going to fold one of these sides in a little bit further. And you can cheat this, you can make it fit. Yes, that's the winner. So now I'm going to hope I've got enough glue left. And I'm going to apply a little bit of glue to the two outside pieces, not to the inside piece. And I'll fit the spine of the book inside there. It's going to be so sweet. I'm pinching it quite tightly, and then the book, when I release it, will sort of expand to fill that spiny space. And then I can begin to put my ephemera into it. This is a really fun bit, because this is when you get to decorate the book with all these lovely little embellishments. And I'm going to use this panel that says ephemera on it on the front of my book. I'm also going to cut out this, and I'm going to put it on the side of my book. I'll show you how I did it on the first one I made. I actually cut off quite a lot of the outer fixings of this, so that I would just have a neat little rectangle that looked as if it was held within a metal casing. And I'll do the same again. So it seems a shame, but I'm just going to cut off those pieces, cut it fairly tight so that it will fit neatly onto the spine of your book without too much hanging over. I'll test that. I think that's just about right. A little bit of glue on there. And back to my ephemera panel for the front. Now, of course, the great thing with digital downloads is that you can reproduce the papers and print them off anytime you want to make more than one item. I'm terrible for not using up beautiful papers that I have, because once I use them up, they're gone. But with printed papers, printed digital downloads, you don't have that worry. And it means if I wanted to make a series of these little books, I could. Oh look, that actually matches up quite well. That was accidental. Aren't they gorgeous? I'm going to pop some ephemera in this one now and just show you how the book takes all the tags and everything. Having made both my little books, I wanted to give you some ideas for how you could embellish the corners if you wanted to. So on this book, I've used the reverse side of my tomato puree tube, and I've cut 2 thin slices, and I've folded them around the inside of the book. On the outside, I've left it plain, so you can see what that looks like, and on the inside, I've taken my little tooly thing and I've just done some little swirls on there. I hope the camera can pick that up. So the way to do that is just cut a thin piece of tin from your tube. The most important thing is to make sure that you cut in exactly the same line so you don't get any nicks. Because what I've found is that this edging won't hurt you, you know, if you catch your finger on it, but if it's got any nicks in it, that's what will hurt. I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to work on these corners on the back of this book, and all you do is fold the metal at a straight angle. So you fold it over the edge of the book, and then this one the same, and it should line up. Don't squeeze it too tightly, because at this stage you still need to be able to slip it off the book, cut off the excess. You can see I'm just using ordinary scissors to cut the excess away. I'm going to get rid of it as well because I don't want any sharp corners to catch me. And then slide it back onto the corner of your book. Now if you want, you can glue this, but I've found if I just seal it down really well and put some really good creases in the bottom there, it actually doesn't need any glue. And then if you want to do any embellishment on the metal, I'm just doing simple little twirls. You can add them with some kind of a pointy edge. A pen would do it as well, or a pencil maybe. Hopefully the camera can pick that up. And I thought these corners might be a little bit too sharp, but they seem to be completely fine. They're okay. And I think that's a way that I might use to embellish some of my other journals in future. I hope that was useful. I'm going to say thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching as always. And until we meet again, stay safe and take care.